Getting to know you, getting to know all about you.
Hi there guys, I thought that I would do a video about me. I know, not in the kind of weird like vain, let's all talk about me thing, but get to know me tag. I think that's what they call it these days. So I'm just gonna go through a bunch of different things about me basically. Let's begin. What is my full name? My full name is Lady Aphrodite Marie Poulos, which spells out lamp actually. Honestly, I didn't actually know my first name was Lady. It was only until secondary school when they was going through the register and they said, Lady, and I was like, who on earth is that? Oh my gosh, why would you name your child Lady? And then they said Aphrodite and I was like, that's interesting. That's also my name. And then they said the last name, which is Poulos, and then I was like, okay, we have an issue. Unless if there is another person who is exactly like me in this room, that must be me. So I obviously had to claim the name since it was the first lesson ever, and I was incredibly embarrassed. And then I had to go home and ask my parents, and they were like, oh yeah, that is your name. What is my favorite movie? Actually, I'm super nerdy. So I love Lord of the Rings. I have the trilogy extended versions of all three. Why would you need an extended version? They're all 3 hours long, I know. But I like to see all the random takes, you know, the little ones in between, like Legolas shooting an arrow or something. Also, I really like Star Wars as well. Also like Star Trek. Get out the shot, fly, it's not your time. Okay, next question. What was my favorite subject? Yeah, so in secondary school, I really loved geography, which meant that I continued to take it up until uni, which was my degree, a geography degree. I just love cultures, I love all the sciencey stuff. I love it all, really. I don't know what it was about geography, but I was that super nerd who was basically like doing essays that year 9s should be doing in year 7. Not to brag or anything. But yeah, no, and I was that person that would make massive posters. I don't know why I needed to do that, but it was partially as well because I just like to be creative. The last book I read was... What was the last book I read? I go into Waterstones and I basically just buy all the books that I want to read in one go. And then I bring them home and then I stack them nicely next to my bed and I don't touch them for at least 10 months. I'm joking. I sometimes return them too. Okay, no, really, what was the last book I read? You know what, the last really good book I read was actually The Alchemist. It was a short read, but it was really inspirational. It was beautifully written. I would recommend it. I would just say, even if you don't like reading, the only thing you read is your cereal box. I would suggest this because it's quite short. You're welcome. Okay, so how would I describe myself in 5 words? Let's see. Creative, spontaneous, very witty, but leaning onto sarcastic. Really curious. Then last one probably must be nerdy. Just a little bit nerdy. What's the one thing on my bucket list? I really want to go to Asia. Somewhere in Asia. Actually, specifically South Korea, let's be honest. Everyone's thinking, oh, is it because you're watching all those dramas and now you think you want to go and find your Korean prince? No, that wouldn't be bad though. No, I just think the history there is really amazing. I love, if there's one thing about me, it's I love learning about the history and cultures of different countries, and once I get into it, I get fully obsessed, quite obsessive. Not in a scary way, but like it gets to the point where I will just, you know how when you have a new boyfriend or someone you like and then you keep name dropping him and everything, like, Steve is such a great guy. Steve also holds pens like that. Steve walks exactly like you. Steve's so great. I saw the sun yesterday and he looked just like Steve. Stuff like that, instead of me like, did you know that in South Korea you can have this? Or did you know that in Korea you can do this? Or did you know that? And everyone's like, yes, we did, Aphrodite. You've told us. So one thing I really, really hate is peeling oranges. I don't know when it started, but it was something that's just, no. So every time I do feel like having 1 of my 5 a day, I do actually just call my dad to peel my oranges for me. I know it sounds really strange, and it's not because I'm too lazy to take the peel off. It's because of that citrusy smell that afterwards it's just like, no. I just don't want to be smelling it at my pen, on my laptop, in my life. I just don't want to be smelling it in my sleep. There's something about that smell that just makes me feel sick. I think everyone knows this about me already, but I have a tendency to actually, on my way out when I'm rushing out and I haven't really had anything to eat, to get like a handful of almonds and then shove it into any pocket possible. And then sometimes I actually forget. Like there's been times where I've taken out my jumper and it's been about 2 months since I've worn it, and it's just like, oh, almonds. Sometimes I stuff it in my jeans, in my denim jacket. It has like little holes here, little pockets here, and just everywhere really. Sometimes I do just randomly take it out in a public space, like in bank, and it's rush hour, and there are people standing there in suits, and I look like a teenager, someone who's not finished or graduated from uni, and I'd just be like, oh my god. I've refrained from doing that because I realize people don't like that. So I have a habit of naming a lot of my inanimate objects. So Carlos, this penny skateboard. Hilda, my travel backpack. Carmen, my Polaroid camera. Oh, what was the other one? Penelope, my suede purple shoes. Oh, I have my new glasses. I got a new pair of glasses, and they're very, very round. And I gave it a Korean name because I thought I wanted to spice things up. I think it's called Dongguri. Dongguri. I'm gonna have to check that. I'm sorry to all the Korean people out there. Oh, I also named my laptop Mika. Mika the Mac. I also actually have a real big habit of collecting things. So you know, when I'm on holiday, I actually do enjoy collecting rocks. I know, rocks. Why are you collecting rocks? I'm that person, you know, when you ask people and you lift up their bag and you're like, oh my gosh, what do you have in here? Rocks. I'm that person. I actually really love walking, mostly because it's a really good time for me to think and listen to music and just enjoy what's going on. I have this thing that when I think about people who are not as fortunate in other low-income countries, and they don't have the opportunity to just pop in the car, or you know, even a bicycle. So I think sometimes when I walk, it's kind of a really contemplative thing. Actually, one story I have, which I try and I refrain to tell people, but in secondary school, we were in Epping Forest, and all the guys were climbing the trees, and I was like, I'm going to be the girl that climbs that tree. Yeah. So I managed to actually get up to the top, and it's a massive tree. I'm not exaggerating. Actually, probably am exaggerating. It was a long time ago, but it was a big enough tree, okay? And people thought, wow, this is amazing, let's take photos. Naturally, why would I want to just take a picture in the tree? No, I don't want a photo in the tree. And all of a sudden, I started having, you know, visions of going home and getting hit by my dad because he saw the picture through my auntie, my uncle, and my cousin. He saw it on Facebook, and they called each other from Cyprus, and they all had a conversation. They were like, oh, by the way, I saw your child in the tree. So I dashed down the tree. I don't know how else to. I descended it in a non-graceful way, and basically ended up twisting my ankle. And I thought, I'm just gonna walk it off. It's fine. I do this often. So I thought I would walk it off, but after 2 minutes, I basically realized that I was in trouble and I had to go to the A&E. And then, which leads me back to the evening time of it, trying to explain to my dad why my ankle is twisted. After that, why is your ankle twisted? Because I I fell out of a tree. What do you mean you fell out of a tree? What were you doing in the tree? What was the tree on you and you in the tree? No, I mean, I climbed the tree. Why? Were they forcing you? And no, I did it for fun. See, this is what happens when you leave the house, Aphrodite. Truth be told, I do enjoy myself a lot, so I don't blame him. Okay, so last question. If I could give my younger self any advice whatsoever, I think it would probably be to value myself and to not be so insecure and to have confidence. You know, I think it's such a basic thing, but as you get older, you realize you don't really care anymore. You know, you just walk outside, yes, I have no makeup, but no one's gonna know. I mean, and things like just being you, like, yeah, you have certain different qualities about yourself, but you're born that way. I mean, you can't change it, and don't change it.
Getting to know you, getting to know all.
So guys, that was just the get to know me tag. Stay tuned, I will be putting more videos up, and I'll see you next time. Cool beans.